use Tsunami's voice line.
Skyward has every single caster's voice line.
Does he really? That's quite the investment. That ward is going to be scouted. That's
He's a fan, dude.
yeah, that'll be taken out. At least, though, that is the first smoke gank avoided.
Very quick, dude.
Yep.
that was so quick.
Not to worry. Oh, they still might end up catching something here. This is not expected, especially with how many heroes reveal themselves on the ward. Monster still getting caught for first blood.
Yeah, they give it to Skyward though, which is the 4, so it's meh. I'd rather give it to the mid there, but it is a first blood nonetheless. I wanted to say, by the way, since you were talking about the Tiny 4, overall, it feels like Marcy coming into Captain's mode buffed Tiny, because people were like, oh my god, Tiny is so much better than Marcy, and they just started playing Tiny 4 instead, which does a very similar role. I've talked to a lot of 4 players, and they just talk about how strong Avalanche is, especially since the buffs it got, like the consistent intervals, the fact there's always 0.3 as a projectile time, as opposed to now it doesn't matter where you placed, right? Has a good range. So people have started to pick up Tiny much more as a result. And you kind of saw it there, like that Avalanche almost prevented the kill. It's a really, really good spell for control and TP.
Big ol' AoE, it's a reliable stun canceller, it's not the longest of cooldowns, especially once it's maxed, right? Especially for considering how big that radius is. It's pretty good. Lots of damage. It's very nice. Yeah, very consistently able to hit like 2 3-man stuns with that thing in the middle of team fights, right? Tiny's tanky enough, not unlike a Lion, right? Or unlike a Lion, right, I suppose, who would just simply die if he tried to wait and get off a 2 or 3-man stun in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, exactly. I will say that his lane, though, is probably his biggest weakness, and that's where, like, Marcy hasn't beat, for sure. And that's why I do like the TP combination, though. DP feels like a strong solo laner, much like a Timbersaw or whatever. Tiny just has to help in the first few levels, and then afterwards you can, not necessarily solo, but be more alone than not, right?
Be more alone than not. Yeah.
Yeah, like my status, my relationship status.
I was trying to come up with a joke there. That was a pretty funny way of explaining that kind of type of offlane, because I know exactly what you're talking about. Well, you got to babysit them for the first couple of levels, and then eventually, you know, when they grow up and they get into their teenage years, they go, Flea, get out of my lane! You're taking me XP. Close the door.
Yeah. Close the door. Yeah, I feel like Timbersaw is like the king of that. Obviously, he goes through like a really hard hormonal phase, but besides that, there's like the Snapfire DPs, which they can kind of hold their own, and the more the 4 is there, the more pressure you want to put in this lane. But you're up against a CK. Like, you're not going to beat this lane no matter what, so Flea might as well go do things mid once you get to levels, right?
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
We'll see. Yeah, there we go. Flea's already like, I'm out of here. I'm going to go do something more useful.
He might look to skip a wave. No, he's late.
Oh, he is?
No, he's blocking the camp, pardon. Yeah, he's blocking the camp. It was something with lane equilibrium. That was a very deliberate move from him, the way that he went around.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, Feeling's going to have to unblock this camp now, is what he's feeling. So he's not going to be able to pull this way, but the next one he's going to be able to pull with this camp if you time it correctly, which is why he focuses on unblocking this one.
Yeah. I've always thought that it's weird when 5s block that large pull camp, right? When there's like a really weak laner, like say a Tiny or an Ix or whatever, because it's not like they can contest that pull really easily, especially with a Snapfire. And I feel like you're just better off having more options.
I kind of agree with you. I think it's a misread of the lane.
Top lane?
Yeah, rises. Go down. Skyward loses a little bit of his damage, but he's got plenty of it. And without really the point in Luminosity, you're not really carrying all that much, to be honest. Boots of speed as well to start with on the position 4 Dawnbreaker. I will say this is not a position we see the Dawnbreaker played a lot in. It's 5 mid and safe lane, and then probably this position.
Wolf team has been actually running this a lot on King Arty, and they've been really enjoying the 4 position Dawnbreaker.
Is Boots first a little bit the norm?
No, he has not been first.
Monster is going to get stunned. He did get off the Spirit Siphon, though. He's going to get a second one off as well on the Feeling, who is a strength hero. So it's going to be plenty of HP for the DP. She's going to be able to sustain through the kill attempt.
Yeah, well done. There's where the Tiny really comes into play, right? Again, Avalanche is just really good. It's just a really good spell.
But anyway, I think I agree with you, by the way, on blocking this camp. It's something you have to kind of just get a feel on when you support position 5. You got to start thinking about things, look at your laning partner. you have to decide how willing is my laning partner to, you know, stop CSing, maybe miss like 2 creeps in order to help me, you know, maintain creep equilibrium. In pubs, you know, that's basically a wash. That's never going to happen. But in professional matches, it's something to consider, especially because Flea has 0 armor. Now with the Poison Reality Rift, maybe if you want to go for a little shredder, you probably could tear right through Flea if he were to try and pull that camp, for example, or contest it.
Yeah, I agree. I think 1 point in low shredder early for Snapfire is also really good, not just because of the minus armor, but also your support. There we go. And you can D-ward things super easily, right? Like, you always win the D-ward wars with this. Fade. There's going to be attempt. Oh, okay, that was a really bad attempt.
Yeah.
He's going to be fine.
They're going to be pretty happy as long as they get the rest of these creeps, and he will. Nice job there on the plasma field. Pingu doing a good job here with the creeps that he's been able to find so far. Did he lose, actually, the Ogre Frostmage? Maybe it was out of mana, so he sacrificed it. But you can see here, I mean, this lane's not very strong either. Fade, Skyward, as they get Flea down bottom. There's the little Shredder and Reality Rift coming in handy, right? All that minus armor tears right through this Tiny.
Exactly, he was going for a pull as well, so they got him in the middle of the pull.
There we go.
So that's exactly what we're talking about, right? So this is what I would expect to play it to be when it's like a Nyx Tiny or whatever, or Shaker, you know, these really weak melee laners. You just punish it pretty hard, particularly with Snapfire. Top lane, they're going to go for Pingu, and then they kill him off. Skyward, doing a great job there. As TTP is away. The use of the first nighttime as well. Night Stalker versus Razor is tough even during nighttime, but the supports become kind of vulnerable. So I think that's what they went for. And Dawnbreaker is probably the strongest support laner right now. Definitely up there, like top 3. The damage you deal with that hammer is kind of insane.
Yeah, I'd certainly agree with that. She commands a lot of respect, for sure, in the lane.
The best part about this is that because of, usually in these kind of rotations, especially in nighttime, the Puck would be the best hero to have in the mid lane because you just counter rotate and you can easily kill Night Stalker as a result. But with Lesh here, every time you counter rotate, you have to always weigh, will Lesh take my tower in that time or deal a lot of damage to it? And is this counter rotation useful? It's kind of tough for Soul to make the free plays on a Puck that he'd like.
Yeah, so now with the 2 points in the Edict, right, certainly starting to threaten it.
Look at these.
Only the 1 point, by the way, yeah, that double Tornado Alley, oh no. For RL, right, he has decided to go for 2 points in the Diabolic Edict. He's bucking the trend a little bit of putting more points into Lightning Storm. Perhaps that's because of the Puck matchup, and you're just not going to hit Puck with a Lightning Storm.
Yeah, it's bad in this spot.
Yeah, so, bottom, they are going yet again here for Monster. 3 heroes here as well, with Skyward joining the fun, but that's even one more hero for Monster to lifesteal off of, and he makes it out alive yet again.
I feel like this time Arceus gave up a little bit early, dude. Like, you're a CK, you have treads, you can just chase after Monster, dude. He has no boots. He has no... You're killing him under tower. There is no way.
She's pretty zippy.
325 versus 370.
Plus, you know, you would have been healing her for a fair bit, right? She had you siphoned.
Yeah, but I feel like Snapfire goes back. Flea, can they kill him in time? Oh, they got the cookies. There we go. Yeah, stop the TP, and now Flea should be dead.
Skyward. He's actually in a bit of trouble himself. His Monster's going to rotate on over along with Soul. It's really Soul who rotates, drops the Dream Coil. He's going to avoid the Illusory Orb. Oh, but a nice job there. Avoiding the Chaos Strike instead of Monster getting the kill there with the Crypt Swarm. I did miss the kill mid lane onto Flea, however.
Oh, Flea TP got stopped. 3 heroes ganked him. It was kind of simple. Not too big a deal. I will say, so top lane rises. Oh, he wasted Static Link. Well done, Fade. Now he has him at his mercy. No mana for the Void, but he is gonna chase. Chase him, Fade. Go in the trees. No fear. Okay, he's gonna actually. Oh, he should have some fear. Oh no! Oh, full fear! Full fear! Oh no, Fade! Abort mission. That was not the play.
Oh no!
Okay, Arceus was right the whole time. He shouldn't have chased him the trees.
Oh,
this was the right.
That's
play.
what you get for trying to give a core confidence. You know, Monster here. He's gonna pop that Exo down bottom. Arceus has to just use the Chaos Bolt to increase the distance as the Phantasms chase him underneath his tier 1 tower. He TP'd here, so Monster knows he can't just leave that easily. There's going to be another earn debuff. Arceus has now the ulti ready to go. He got it off of that last creep. Is that going to be enough for him to turn the fight? The TP's come through now, but Monster's got the kill. He's got the move speed here as well. And with Rises now returning to try and get another kill onto Fade, Monster life-stealing here quite a bit, and now he's going to be feeling dropping for kill number 2. What's left in the tank, though, for Alpha to fight?
Yeah, RL joins him as well. Rise will be the first to fall. We have Lightning Storm, but not enough mana for that plus Split Earth. And the Pulse Nova, again, useless now without mana for RL.
Yeah, more or less. Both positions
Skyward desperately trying to get level 6 here to try to help his teammates in
Flea
this
is going
fight.
to go for a kill.
Yeah, there's a toss back.
Beautiful.
Breaks the coil. That was really well performed. Can they kill him? Yeah.
Really, really nicely done there.
Yeah, so the bottom rotation was, I guess, okay by RL, but forcing less track rotations early, especially with that Valkyrie build, I think it's a win for Alpha. As long as you don't lose too many heroes in the process. It seemed kind of even, carry for carry overall. Razor's a more active carry, I guess.
Fade's getting some pretty good damage onto this mid-tier 1 tower. Heads up play from him, right, as Solo has been very, very active with his rotations. He's been bot and top here within the past couple of minutes. A D-ward as well is going to make this a bit harder to defend for Alpha. Only a minute left of nighttime, but Fade actually has not yet put a point into the Dark Ascension. He is saving the skill point, much like you would see a Wraith King do. So he can just, you know, throw it in there. Does require the mana, much like a Wraith King. Is the one thing.
Spells require mana,
well, not all of them.
Splitter. Got the puck. That was well played by RL. Nicked him with the splitter.
Yeah, that's the tower down. Again, you know, with having the D ward there, they probably just didn't see the heroes coming. And now there's going to be a smoke play here immediately from 5ManMidas, who are going to keep up the pressure.
Oh, okay, yes, 3-man smoke. Yeah. Fade is out of mana though.
He's got a wand.
He has enough for one void. Yeah, he has enough for one void, I think. Or darkness. No, Dark Ascension rather, sorry. Pingu is probably not the target you want to go on first.
I mean, come on. He's just trying to, you know, spread the word of Obelisk in this bottom lane.
Yeah, you want to catch the DP ideally, but the armor's making it really difficult. Dark Ascension committed. Okay, they're going to go for Pingu. And then maybe they think DP is too hard. They're going for both, actually. Monster, the TPs are here.
Pingu's still alive.
No, about that one. Silence gets RL. He's stuck in the Dream Coil here. RL. He has to stop his attack on Monster.
Pingu actually outplayed the hell out of those two supports.
I was watching the other one.
That was pretty sick. So what he did was, they were setting up for the cookie stun onto him, and that pretty much would have condemned him. But what he did was he used the Wild Wing, what is it, Cyclone, right? Hurricane, sorry. To push the Snapfire so that the cookie wasn't lined up anymore, and he got off like 3 auto attacks, didn't take the cookie damage, and then he ends up at least getting the Snapfire before he died, which is much more than, you know, he was really meant to get 2v1 there.
That's pretty
really well done. Good micro.
Pingu, the king of Chets, already has a mech as well. Once again, no boots. This team is the bootless team. At least Monster bought his. They're going for a tower trade, I presume. Still beneficial for 5ManMidas because they've already taken mid, but this tower trade has to be effective though. It's only a CK push.
They might be able to defend this here. They've got Exo ready to go yet again. Coil up in 10 seconds, and this is not the fastest push.
It's incredibly slow. Why is our...
Alright, well now they got it.
I mean... Oh yeah, with a catapult. Maybe that's why? They knew they were not going to defend that? Could have been. Like Alpha could have committed though.
Yeah. It's a bit scary though, I guess. You know, Skyward's missing off the map. He's been farming. Now he's level 6, right? Enemies from Alpha here might not know that. But at 12 minutes, you kind of expect a position forward to at least be level 6. You know, you definitely feed him a tome if he's not. RL in the mid lane is going to be coiled up. There's going to be the ulti, so the Guardian coming on in. Monster does commit the Exo here, so wants to still find an angle to take this fight, as the kisses are going to be immediately canceled by Rises and Soul. Feeling is going to be the first to drop in the fight, but he does feed a cookie to Fade at least before he dies. Monster the entire time continues diving here underneath the tower, as there goes Skyward. Rises with the kill there. RRL out of mana underneath the ward here from Alpha. This is the third to drop. I believe the tower is going to be the 4th here, as Alpha take a fantastic fight for themselves here in the mid lane.
Yeah. I guess the body block was not very good by RL there. They kind of condemned Skyward unnecessarily. But beyond that, I feel like it's weird that they decided to fight that. Sure, Alpha can take the choice to defend tier 1 top, and you can argue whether that's the best choice or not, but they are in the driver's seat no matter what. So it's their choice. 5ManMidas doesn't really get to choose when to fight. If they go and dive your tier 1 tower with an Exorcism, in addition to, you know, a Razor, just his existence, and a Dream Coil as well, I feel like you can't really deal with that unless Dark Ascension is at least up. And that's a crucial part of their team fight. It wasn't even nighttime, right?
Yeah, that's true. Fade not finding a lot of use in the fight, just simply because, as you say, it's not nighttime.
Yeah, he has Void.
The sun is up. You know, it's also my weakness, so it's quite annoying, right? It's kind of just slows you down a bit. And with Blink Dagger, he's to be able to play a bit more speedy here. No Midas, no Axe Scepter, you know, to try and accelerate his farm. No Echo Saber even. So, you know, if 5ManMidas and especially Fade are not able to find a couple of kills here with this Blink Dagger timing, you know, it doesn't have to be like a Rampage or whatever for Fade, but a little bit of something to get his economy moving again, he might struggle to get his next item, which is probably BKB against the puck is usually what you want. And that might be very painful here for 5ManMidas. That could be a pain point here.
Yep. They have to deal with this. Like, again, they just have strong heroes on the alpha side, so it's a fairly simple draft to play around the item types you can get soon. And from then, 5ManMidas needs to get their combos off to be better, like the Night Stalker Dawnbreaker we talked about. The CK has to be involved in fights maybe, once with the Echo Saber, hopefully.
Yeah, and I just want to point out something that I don't always. A couple interesting wards actually by Alpha. They put their own defensive jungle ward here above their tier 2, above the tier 1 mid, or where it used to stand. As well as this ward next to the Radiant tier 2 is quite interesting. Don't always see that one. Flea jumps in with Blink Dagger. Does find Feeling, and is going to throw it in Condemner. Oh, Skyward does commit the ulti here. RL looking to fight as well. They will get through Flea and perhaps Soul as well. Maybe in some trouble.
They can't phase shift away because of the Crippling Fear. They still have Dream Coil here, and they're going to use it immediately on RL. Also catches Fade. Careful, Monsters joining the fray as well. As the Mortimer's kisses get dropped, Monsters trying to survive this. There's a silence up on the Leshrac, and they're going to finish off RL. Arceus also on the run, runs out of mana, has Magic Wand though for one up off the field. That's going to slow him down. Arceus in trouble. Crimstorm to finish him off. They also catch Feeling in the trees. He's not going to live. Alpha. Really, really well executed. I think they got 4 there because Feeling bought back.
They did, yeah. He bought back and dies back there after getting off the ulti, which is not a bad move by him, honestly. But simply the Chen heal. That was the first Hand of God we've seen, the first mech usage, and seems to have caught 5ManMidas a bit off guard. Skyward a little bit quick on the trigger there as well, and the Solar Guardian doesn't really let him get too much out of this fight. And even though it looked fairly promising, a good bait there around the puck, who simply just lives through the silence thanks to the grace of Chen and Obelisk, and they turn a pretty convincing fight from there for Alpha.
Yeah, I think they understand their power spikes well here, and it's not really a matter of executing too much. It's running at the enemy at the right times once they waste their couple ultimates, and they've been baiting out that Solar Guardian really well from Skyward for being less impactful than you expect, right? Like, the healing is okay, but at most only has one hero. They never use it when they committed, like, say, a Dream Coil, for example, which I think was a really big deal. Even with the Crippling Fear on the puck, the fact that he survived it was huge, and he didn't have a Blink Dagger yet.
They will catch Flea here by the looks of things. Silenced up by the Crippling Fear. Yeah, and the hammer then. Starbreaker will get him. Yeah, I think choosing to start or Solar Guardian there on the Snapfire is probably indicative that they really wanted to fight around that for 5ManMidas, or at least Skyward did. And I guess that was the case, right? Because they did end up buying back on the Snapfire, so they were very keen to take a fight there, maybe eager to punish Alpha for invading in what their view was a bit too far. But as you say, Alpha just correctly calculating their strengths here at this stage. I think we're totally fine.
You also, when you have a counter-initiating lineup, right? Like, this one only has counter-initiation, I would say, for 5ManMidas. Your initiation's pretty lackluster. It's just Night Stalker going in. I feel like you have to be less obvious about your intentions. Because the enemy team knows you want to counter-initiate. They're just going to walk back and re-initiate, right? That was always been the counter to, like, the Global Silence, right? Global Silence is weak because you can just walk back and ignore it. I would say Dawnbreaker fulfills a similar attitude. It's just higher commitment when you go for a hero that gets healed. So 5ManMidas needs to make their intentions a little bit less obvious as a result. Maybe Mortimer's kisses early as well. That would be nice, because I think those were quite late in the fight.
Yeah, well, they were late because he got initiated on, right? Unfortunately.
Right, sure, yeah, but like, I mean, protect her then, right? Like, make sure that these things happen. You can't.
Well, I mean,
you can't really win without.
Flea, okay, the second jump isn't gonna scare him either. He's got the Toss, but the minus armor is there. There's kisses coming down as Alpha want to fight this.
Yeah, Alpha. I don't know. Okay, that BKB on Razor.
That's why they want to fight this.
And the gun. RL will be helped with the Dawnbreaker here, but they just get out of the circle. Dream Coil committed. Skyward's a +1 at this point, but Rises, his BKB is ending. He could be in trouble. He's going to go down. As Monster also gets stunned. All his armor's taken away. He just wants to run away from Arceus. Reality Rift will keep him in place, and now the puck also in trouble. In the Crippling Fury goes. This is a fight 5ManMidas did take, and a fight they took well.
Yes, indeed. Pinger does the next best thing is he's not obviously within range for the mech, so he's going to push bottom with some very tanky creeps and that's a tier 2 tower for his side. So Alpha at least finds something on the other side of the map. But on their own side, they find 4 heroes dead, and in exchange only end up getting the Lash. Very, very good fight there for 5ManMidas. It was looking pretty spooky as well, but they actually kite out the BKB, first BKB of the game as well, for Arduous quite well, don't they?
Yeah, it's pretty good, honestly. I think that was a maybe a bit of a forced by Rises. Like once you got down to a 30-year HP, and Razor is one of the few heroes where this is actually a good play, but it was still not considering the CK strength. He still went ham on them. He didn't calculate the 9-second BKB that well because he was still he in the middle of the fight, right? He lost his BKB and CK could just stun him. So I feel like there were some moments where Alpha felt a little bit too cocky. But it was a good bait by 5ManMidas, and a much earlier use of Mortimer's Kisses did a much better job as well. Maybe Ryzen should have activated during the Kisses. It's kind of hard to tell. You feel really bad if you have to activate a BKB just because there's a single stun in some Kisses going over your way.
Nuz got the plate mail though, as he's at least gonna get a plate mail. Shiva's in the quick buy for Rises. We'll see if he decides to complete that purchase or not. But that'll help him substantially versus the physical damage that he ended up dying to in that case. Of course, still relying on the BKB to keep him immune from the magic damage, of which there's still plenty, by the way, for RRL. We haven't really seen him get too many solo kills this game, but very much still a threat.
I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of this Shiva's build, though, because who's your carry then? I guess the puck can start building into damage? It just feels like Rises, if you just go Refresher, or even AC. Like, I don't know why Shiva's over AC. I get there's illusions, but it does reduce CK's healing a little bit. But it does feel like you kind of need your carry to go for these, again, carry-like items. Shiva's could be on the DP instead, and you could pick AC on Razor, or just straight up Refresher for more impact.
It'll also reduce the Dawnbreaker's healing as well, quite significantly. That's
true, sure. Feeling. It's just a quick kill. But I feel like Monster could have built that. I guess it'll take too long. And that's why they're thinking about this?
Yeah, it could be, right? Because they already have the Vessel, which was pretty good in that last fight as well for the first kind of kill they got in that engagement. They're going to close the door onto Arduous, though. Oh, Flea? Flea didn't see him? Oh, okay. Arduous canceled the TP anyway.
Oh, nice silence there. Soul needs to avoid some of this damage. There's a Dawnbreaker ultimate to kill Soul. And out of the phase shift he goes, tries to avoid the hammer, gets it, and thanks to the hand of God, he's going to be fine. Skyward is going to die here. Soul avoiding every single spell coming his way, and a little bit of help from Pingu just in case.
Yeah, you casted the fight off of screen, and I was capturing the one on screen there. Flea just kind of walked past Arduous, and Arduous, I guess he thought he was as good as dead because he canceled his TP. And Flea, I don't know, it was just this weird moment where Arduous was making the assumption that Flea obviously is going to stun me. Flea was just standing there. They eventually get through Arduous, and that'll be Roche. So Alpha end up with some big picks, although that could be Flea dying there, thanks to the kisses.
And Dark Ascension, they're committing to this.
Already buys
they
back.
can steal the Roche.
Yeah.
It's very, very low. Flea's in that buyback right now. Dawnbreaker, no ultimate though.
Are they gonna let this go?
I think the field steals it. Okay, at least they got the gold for it, but the Aegis goes the way of Skyward's. Cookie. Skyward with a pick pull. He's a little bit faster. They're not going to chase. They know it's not worth taking his Aegis off. It's just a 4 with an Aegis.
Yeah, it's not really that scary, to be honest. Especially for a Dawnbreaker, where it's like once she uses her ultimate, she's a little bit annoying, you know, with the Starbreaker, but then after that, well, who cares? Okay. Bit surprised. I thought Rises might have just popped BKB and, you know, said, no, this is my Aegis. I'm taking it. But Alpha don't value it that highly. So they seem to be totally fine with the situation. They didn't really overextend whatsoever for the Roche. They lose Flea, and now they're going to look to try and equalize here.
Yeah. Skyward is probably the worst target here, even if you take 2 lives.
Arduous is
Arduous much better.
Yeah.
There we go. Silent stop. Arduous, he's still stuck in the coil. The damage is super high.
Yeah, and Flea is going to remove the Aegis. He says, excuse me, I believe you took something that belongs to us. And Skyward,
just in case.
Yeah, it does not get down into the river, unfortunately.
So maybe that's why he's going for Shiva's, by the way, because he thinks that there's overwhelming damage already in all of your cores anyway, so you don't need it.
Yeah, I mean...
High and Sanj in the puck as well, so he's going for like a halfway build where there is some physical damage too. Okay.
Yeah, this is
maybe more sold
the very popular puck build I've been seeing a ton of these days, especially in NA. They just don't want to build BKB. They don't really want to build Yules. I've seen it once in like a really bad puck game. I forget who the enemy mid was, but it was pretty hard. So I've seen Yules once, but like even then, not BKB, just the Yule scheme alive. RL is going to try and TP out, but yeah, Flea is here, and so are a couple of other cores for Alpha. They're going to throw him underneath the tower for good measure, and down he goes.
He's going for Ags, actually.
The Nihilism, is he? I did see that point booster, and I was like, is that Ags? I wasn't sure what else, I guess, Alesh would build with it. Probably not a Wraith Pact.
Ags is pretty good because it covers you from the laser for sure, and the Exo as well, which is not bad. And because Puck is going for, like, not necessarily a build that amplifies magical damage by a bunch, like we've seen the Puck Dagons in other regions, for example, then I guess it's good. I do feel like there's a fair amount of magical damage between Tiny and Puck, though, so Nihilism could be tough.
I don't know what the Nihilism range is, but I feel like Puck also has a little bit of counterplay here if they want to upgrade into the Revenant's Brooch, which I think is a very legit item these days that we might see towards the end of this patch. I don't know. I'm willing to stick my neck out there. I think it's pretty good, and people aren't using it enough. It's really expensive, but there's a couple of Witchblade builders in the meta. Why don't we see the item?
Well, some people are starting to do it when they face like high armor carries, like say Terrorblade or Naga, right? And I've seen it in a couple pro games as in like a luxury.
Yeah,
item, of course,
yeah.
but
I'm not saying
like
Brown Boots Revenant's Brooch, right? But
okay. That's why build, but okay.
I mean,
you feel free to flame it.
Yeah, I'm gonna also go out there, Alvaro, and say you probably shouldn't go, straight Nullifier when you play Bloodseeker. Okay, it's not a good build.
Stop publicizing my build. They're all secret. Fleet is going to go down here. They literally. Oh, are you serious? 4 stuff and he's 5, and everyone.
He cancels the TP.
Oh no, Fate's dead. They canceled Dawnbreaker's TP as well. At least they didn't get any other supports. Okay, so the question here is, if you knew it was a bad fight and you identified that quickly, why'd you take the fight in the first place, right? I mean, they wanted to force the TPs, but they didn't took too long to TP out.
Yeah, and even then, even if you force TPs, like, you're standing right next to where they TP to. It's a tier 1 tower, not like an outpost where it takes 6 seconds to TP away, and it only takes 3 for you to get home, so... Yeah, a little bit of a miscalculation there from 5ManMidas. They don't lose too badly, though. They only lose the Dawnbreaker, her ulti, and Night Stalker, who did not use Dark Ascension, so not the worst thing in the world. But yeah, I mean, just more map control to Alpha, right?
I don't know why that was so lackluster, though. I would imagine CK should have much more damage. I guess Tiny with the Grow is already enough. Like Grow level 2, too much armor.
Grow level 2,
down, by the way.
Razor with the Shiva's.
You have Shiva's rises. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, missed. Okay, well, that was that was the good first use of the Shivas. Arceus is waiting to cut
behind enemy lines. He doesn't have TP for 3 seconds. Will they actually scout him though? Seems like he's in a pretty good spot. Yeah, it's gonna be a really random place to check.
Rises is still fighting though. He still has BKB. And this time they catch Fueling. Once again, the Shivas.
Oh, they nicked him.
They nicked him, and then he can come in with a static field. BKB used, so Lesh can't stop him. Nihilism is available though, and gets activated.
Oh, speedy with that.
They actually just wasted it. They catch the DP here on his own BKB. There's a Solar Guardian committed as well. Monster with the Exorcism though. Dealing a fair amount of damage to the CK. Split among the illusions. The Dawnbreaker in the middle gets leashed with the Dream Coil.
No, they're not. Who are they focusing? Monsters indeed.
They're focusing the Dawnbreaker.
Okay.
Yep, Dawnbreaker's down.
Now Lesh got cookied back.
The cookie for RL.
Okay. That was a little bit all over the place.
Lackluster.
Yeah, for 5ManMidas, unfortunately. They just don't seem to do any damage. I don't know if it's this Chen. Very well could be. Right now he's got the Vlad's online. On top of his Divine Favor. On top of, well, he didn't even use Hand of God. Not even Mechanism in that scrap.
No, I mean, they don't deal damage because you also have a lot of healing, right? Like DP just has natural healing as well. So found the Snapfire, goodbye to Snapfire. But at the same time, it just feels like these teamfights are like, they're not organized as they would like them to. The lack of initiators really starting to hurt them. The Dawnbreaker ultimate is just not enough teamfight, and the CK is not just going in, reality rifting a hero, and murdering them.
Yeah. Plus, look at all these wards that Alpha have top lane. It's just like they always know where they are. They committed 3 wards top, and now they're going to go ahead and fight on the opposite side of the map, as of course there's still a tier 2 in that top lane. They've already dispatched of the tier 2 mid. So they're just looking to try and crack this game a little bit open for themselves as the first lane of barracks. To have these fairly easily by the looks of things. Yeah, maybe I don't know, maybe the move here was playing like a snap 4 and trying to get an Ag Scepter online, and then you gobble up and spit in your CK. Or maybe even your Night Stalker for a little bit more initiation.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like with the Dawnbreaker 4, I don't know, the thing is Vessel is pretty good this game. Oh no, they're going to snap the coil onto Oddquist, and the Dawnbreaker heal is not nearly enough. Skyward, he's just going to die next. He's going to try and TP out, but even for as quickly as he TP'd, he is still going to be killed even quicker than that.
I think they underestimate how much farm Night Stalker needed this game to be the initiator that they needed. Like, he needs to be able to run in, not die, right? And he needed an early Blink AV, he needed an early Blink Dagger, and I feel like they didn't give him too much farm priority in general in the early game. He's third, right? He's playing like a normal offlaner, and when you play Night Stalker, you're playing a carry from the offlane, essentially, especially in these games. So not much space given early to him, not many skirmishes forced by 5ManMidas, maybe a little bit too much greed in their mid laner as well. It ended up being kind of tough for them to know who to go in first. Thank you, Alpha. Thank you.
I'm really curious what that means. I didn't ask Flea last time we had him. We'll see here. If Alpha take the series, then maybe we'll get to ask him later out today. 10k up though. Looks like game 1 is certainly their game to lose here at this stage. They're basically just now sitting and occupying the enemy's triangle. Probably looking to just get the creep wave back for tier 2 control, take the tier 2 and see where they can go from there. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, they're just a control triangle, push mid and top this result. And 5ManMidas knows that if they lose triangle here, they pretty much lost the game, so they might as well go for an attempt here. Not bad if they catch the puck early. That's a fantastic start to the fight.
Oh yeah.
As for them to retreat, Alpha actually wants to continue the fight. There's Avatos catching the CK. BKB already forced. He's going for the Tiny. That's probably the worst target. Arcus, he's losing his damage. Arcus is not going to survive this. Shiva just used for the kicks. There's no need for it. Just slow down feeling a little bit. They lost their carry. This is over.
Yeah, Monster as well, just running down anyone else who's outside of the base. He's going to be jumped now at least by Fade. Was a move too far, a bridge too far perhaps for Monster? No, not even close. Even with the Vessel, they cannot kill him. Flea looking for revenge here. Has Blink Dagger in 8 seconds, which is far too long here for him to catch another hero, but the tier 2 top has been dismantled. And it seems like Alpha are looking to close this game out as they surround the tier 3 and they're about to claim the Megas. There it is, the GG well played from Fade. And it's going to be 1-0 lead here for Alpha after game 1.
I don't know if you saw, but Flea has the AC as well for the game. So the choice to initiate on the Tiny with Grow and AC, I know he starts with 0 armor, but he doesn't have it anymore, right? Like, I feel like that was weird. That was the other point I was going to make, right? You had 2 options here. You either Night Stalker, give him a lot of farm, walk in, he gives you the vision, and he's the initiation, quote unquote. Or alternatively, you let your CK initiate on the weakest objective. In this case, the puck. That was perfect, right? And then you kill him quickly. I mean, that was the option the whole game. It's just that you didn't really commit to that. The amount of times that Arceus went on a Tiny, I mean, that's just a waste of time for your quote-unquote initiator. That's the best thing you had.
My point of analysis is that I didn't know that Dawnbreaker has a lose animation, which rains around her. That is very sad. Very depressing.